Hello everybody, all over the world. Fuck! Take two. Hello everybody all over the world. Yeah. Hey, how are you? I'm really tired because I was at an acrobatics workshop with dancing and throwing a girl around all weekend, so my arms and body fucking hurts. Ah. So how are you? Good? No? Okay. Doesn't matter. My last video that I posted on YouTube is of the community balancing sort. Now I decided, well, I did decide it, but I kind of forgot myself, that I will always be making a discussion thread in my Steam group. So if you wish to discuss in length or detail, you should do it there and not in the YouTube comment section, because I don't really care what people in the YouTube comments sections really say. Except never. So there we go. Leave your feedback there. If you have other suggestions, I might make yours in episode 2 if there's something I haven't thought about. I have a bit of a schedule of what I have planned, so that is a thought for that. And originally today we were supposed to do the Razorback Sniper Shutdown, but I didn't get any replays because I was busy doing other stuff, and I never really got the ability to shut down any Razorback Snipers when I played last week. And also the replays I got wasn't all that many. I think it was 6 in total, and that's a little too little, and they were kind of short and not what kind of I was looking for. So we're going to postpone that until next week. And lately we've kind of been, you know, having fun and just making a lot of joke topics where it's not really useful. It's been coaching and it's been like playing with complete noobs and stuff like that. But now we're going to move back to where you might actually learn something, you know, useful. So that's going to be the topic for today. It's going to be something that I know a lot of players, especially in the lower division, have a lot of trouble with, and that is Pyros in Highlander. Because if you're a pyro in Highlander, you can die really easy. So I got this Source TV demo from my buddy Steve. This is a pyro right here. There we go. There's a Steve. And he's going to be running what I like to call the Sting Pyro loadout. Now, we're going to be doing this entire episode. This is from a match. It's actually him versus it's Suki doing work when they were still around, and versus Darututu when they were still around too, I guess. So it's a pretty high tier match. And we're just basically going to examine what he does and pretty much focus on what he does as a pyro and pretty much ignore everything else. So let's see here if I can. There we go. Let's see if I can.
Mission begins in 30 seconds.
Find him again. Yeah, there he is. And then I also have my controls. I haven't got my config set up properly, but this will do, so I can speed things up a little bit. So we're just going to be focusing and see what he does. And what I mean by the Sting Pyro, it's the degreaser, flare gun, and the extinguisher. So your primary weapon doesn't really... The Sting Pyro is that the primary weapon is not the primary. It's your secondary and melee weapon that is the primary. All you do is lit them on fire, and then you shoot flares and hit them with the extinguisher. That's what, goddamn, that's what a Sting Pyro does.
2, 1.
So that is it. So usually what most people think when I think about pyros in general in Highlander is that, oh yeah, they should just follow the medic around and provide spy checks. And to some extent that is true, but it's not the pyro's job to make sure you don't get stabbed. So there you go, Pidux there actually taking down the spy there, so he didn't really have to do it. And also it's to mostly make sure that your team doesn't get, you know, burned, using the air blast to extinguish that, reflect projectiles, and push enemies back and buy your opponents more time is usually how it goes. Because killing stuff as a pyro is really, really difficult. You can see here that Steve is really doing what he should be doing, is just hanging around the engineer. This is on defense, by the way. So on the defense here, yeah, and then he goes to the front and air blasts people back. Stuff is going down. They lost the gun and everything, and now they're just kind of scampering here with what they have. Still in the back though, and their defense has been lowered, so they're going to be retreating here. And he also waits for his medic and tries to be like, "Hey, shoot me instead. You should not shoot the medic. Shoot me instead. I can take it." As a pyro, kind of expendable, and yeah. So that's going to be the topic. We're just going to basically cast his game and just see what he does. There's a couple of demos. And I'm going to be speeding up slightly on the parts where nothing really happens. We can just watch his positioning here. He's just walking around and doing a lot of spy checking, and I don't think the spy is actually going to come near him because the spy is pretty good and will most likely stay away there. And he also has the dispenser, and this is very key, especially on defense. If you can camp next to the dispenser, you will have infinite ammo. So you will be able to air blast for days and deny any kind of stuff from happening. So I need to fix, do something smart. Let's see, bind. Alright, so we bind that one to reset config. So if I do this, if I do this, god damn it, didn't work. Hold on a second, I gotta set this up now before it gets too bad. Let's see here. Because I forgot to do this before the show. In the meantime, you can look at this. I think that did it. Oh, good, good. Demo, resume. Sorry about that, but I think this should be good now. So, defending the objective, and the objective here is to make sure the cart doesn't move forward and just hanging out around with the dispenser and just hanging out and chilling alongside your engineer friend. And this is pretty standard, something we see a lot, and is really what you should be doing. I mean, if you go for kills and go for plays, as a pyro, you're going to find that is very difficult to do. Because, once again, you have limited range because you have flamethrower, and your flare gun doesn't do that much damage. And then he gets... What? Did he get... Hold on. That was actually really good. Let's go back a bit. I actually didn't see that first time because I was blasting through it. But yeah, reflecting projectiles is really good. Let's see what... Wait, where is he? Yeah, here it is. So we're gonna do this. And then we have to... Oh. Hey, you just missed it. I'm gonna go back again. This is why I love working with demos instead of replays, because they're so fun. Like, I go back a couple of frames and now I'm here. I want to be with Steve. Where's Steve? If I... Oh, there we go. There we go. Comes the reflect. Whoosh. And boom! Double kill. Wait, hold on. I just gotta fix the configs. Let's see. Ah, fuck it. I'll do it later. We can... Because I have a config for casting and I have one config for playing. And the config for playing uses the controls I use for this. And the config for casting is for checking, finding Steve pretty quickly. So yeah. This is the first episode I do with this, so just sorry about that. But anyway, these are kind of the basics, and now I'll have to do this again to change the speed. Where did Steve go? Yeah, there's Steve. And I was on the side doing some bit of a flanky business. You can do that sometimes. He goes down and sees the sniper on a car and just relays some information. This is actually kind of going for frag plays here. So as long as he doesn't run into the heavy, he should be good. And he runs into the heavy and he gets out of there. That's one thing to note, just in general, as a pyro, is that heavies will eat you for breakfast. And I think instead of using the commands and switching back and forth and freezing the game, I'll just use this demo playback window here, I guess. We're going to be using that when we speed things up and speed things down. Stuff on fire, spies as well. Basically, what it means, like, you can do with pyros, and, well, you are a pyro and you do the spies in with your flames, is that if your teammate sees that you put a spy on fire, they don't need to worry about him anymore. They should be able to trust you and make sure that you're able to finish him off. And more reflex, they're killing T-Mac here, so reflecting is good, and here we go, once again, the important part of just disconnecting whoever you can with an Uber. Didn't really do too much there, but hey, that's how it goes. So I'm just going to speed things along until he respawns here. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to try and get 100%. There we go. And now his team is falling back, and he's going to defend a bit more. There we go. Go up and down. And so far, they're just holding, and he's with his combo. There's the spy, avoiding him. Steve is over here. The spy's through the wall. He sees the spy, misses, and he's like, alright, cool. Yeah, there we go, taking him out, eventually. And then going back. And now here, this is very important. This is important to emphasize. Look at the distance that Steve has from the rest of the enemy team here. He has a lot of distance, and he is going to be falling back here, because if he engages this, he's going to die, because there's a lot of blue and a very little red, so that is very smart of him. A lot of Pyros in the lower divisions would usually just, or in pubs even, would just charge, but he just stays back and reflects and tries to buy his team some more time. So Pyro has kind of turned into a support class more than an offensive class, because once again, you have very limited range and very limited use, and you're not that hard to deal with. But some proper positioning and flanking and running around and doing some shenanigans can absolutely work. Don't get me wrong, that is actually pretty good. So he's with the rest of his combo. He's just holding down downstairs. Like here, you can pretty much air blast people for days, and he sees the combo and kills the medic. Air blasts the heavy away, and then he gets out. That's all he needed to do, and Pyro tries to chase him, he air blasts him away. So, using the air blast at the right time is very important. And here's the sniper, doesn't even notice him. Kills the sniper, goes in for the engineer, and engineer somehow floats on the sign and lives, but hey, there you go. So that was some fancy flank work there, coming out of him, and now he's dead, so let's try and speed things up until he's alive again. There we go. He's alive. There he is. Is that a bit too fast for you? Thought so. Man, I love working with demos live. So, holding the upper area is key for any defense on payload upward, in case you were wondering. Just get some presence here, and the enemy team will have a lot harder time to go around here. And he should have been spy checking there. He didn't. Spy ran by him. Let's see if that had any consequence. And actually, he got taken out by the heavy, so it actually didn't matter. But it's not the Pyro's fault if you get stabbed, unless the Pyro puts the spy on fire and says like, I got this, and then just lets the spy live and stab you. Then not. Forced. Just looking around, looking at things. Catches the spy, takes him out, and air blasts them away, and then rotates over here, grabs the health back, and it's going to help defend with his demo man friend. A bit of flank here, takes out the engineer, and is really low on health, going to be retreating, and there's another Pyro. And he gets taken out 2-1 because he was a scout there. So we've seen, as long as the opportunity allows for it, he goes off to some flanking distance, because when you're defending here, defending last, like there's not a whole lot for you to do as a Pyro except just find yourself a spot where your teammates aren't occupying and just keep enemies out of there, either by killing them or just air blasting them around a corner and delay them. Let your teammates know that they're there. Gonna be bothering these, and actually, well, he did kill the medic, so that is a nice pick. Suicide as well. I mean, if you're a Pyro and you can suicide kill for anything in general, it's pretty good. However, medics, heavies, demos and snipers probably are the proper suicide notes that you should be taking when you're deciding which classes you're going to take. Did I mention I'm tired and absolutely exhausted? I think I punched my microphone there as well. So this match happened a while ago. Forget which level it is, but Steve is a pretty darn good Pyro. His basics are pretty good, and he has a very good sense of when to attack and when to go back. He goes down, he sees the medic, and he's already taken a lot of damage, and he goes down to a sniper, and Yeah, they lose the round, but now he's going to be attacking. So now we're going to be taking a look at attacking Pyro, which is a lot harder to do. Like, defending Pyro, it's like, yeah, I can just find a corner and just air blast and reflect all day. But actually attacking on Upward, which is a map that favors long sight lines, something you don't have. I mean, you have the flare gun, but that thing's just annoying. It's not really dangerous. So we're going to be seeing what he's doing. He's just doing excessive spy checking here because he can afford to do so because you have infinite ammo on the card. So he's just checking for spies. There's no spy here, but he's checking the usual spots. Like the like just shooting flares where you think the spy is, and it's usually where the spy would have been in those situations. Where's the spy? He didn't spawn shooting some teleporters or something. No, that's not the spy. The other spy is actually right in front of him. It's burning him right now, and I think he got away. Let's see. No, that's the Suki. Okay, this guy. Yeah, Isol. Because they switched. Yeah. So there we go. Reflex, making sure his teammates takes no damage, is sort of heals in a way, denying damage from projectile classes. Very nice to deal with Devilman spam and pipes and stuff like that, but keep in mind that you do have very limited range and you can easily get spammed out by scouts and snipers and revolver spies even if they catch you off guard in a position of not very goodness for you. So healing up on the dispenser, and like he could potentially have gone and attacked, but he would most likely have died if he did so. Let's just take a look here and see, like, yeah, there's the heavy, can't really engage that, and I was gonna go with this medic. Uber coming in here, air blasting them, and I think he actually air blasts this guy out of the map. Yeah, he goes and falls to his death. And he's still alive here and just running around burning stuff. Follows the soldier, tries to go for the medic, takes him out, and successfully helped with push. Running a pyro in when you do an Uber is actually really smart, because you can push the enemies away from the sentry and you can take out the sentry pretty easily. So usually you have the pyro in the front and the rest in the back. And here he's doing a great job. It was a 3 versus 1 and he survived that, and he also got the information of the sentry there, which he probably relayed to the rest of his team, because they are using communication tools and they are talking to each other over microphones, so information are usually shared, distributed, and acted upon. The spy got taken out by not Steve, someone else. And then he's just gonna go on cart duty for a little bit and then run up. So what he is doing right now, he's just checking if there's like any flanking classes around, I guess, because he's going around. He's not going the straight route, just going in for attack, and this is what happens if you go for straight attack and you don't have overheal and stuff like that. You just die. You die as a pyro. So there we go, back with the cart, and I think he's just going to be pushing it, I guess. Yeah, he's going to be pushing it with the scouts. Just kidding, he's going to be protecting his medic from stuff, because the medic is actually alone. Here's the demo man. Oh, he sees a spy. Spy gets away because he has a bicycle, which is fair. Yeah, I saw the scout below as well. Just lets him know that he saw him, and Pyros are really good at stopping scouts too. You just get him in the air and stuff like that. Now his medic is in trouble. And he gets distracted by the scout. Medic is still alive. The scout's alive too, below him actually. There he is, running back out. So he's just doing protective measures right now. He's just protecting his medic, who's almost about to have an Uber, so this is a good call. I think the scout is on the way back. Yeah, oh, where is he? I don't see him. So they're gonna go in with a push. He's gonna be in the back and actually run into a heavy and die. So yeah, regardless of how good you are, if you run into a heavy, you will die as a pyro. Cannot stress that enough. Back once again. Sees the spy. Just burning him. Making sure there's no escape, taking him out. He is using a lot of technique though. He's not just going for pure burn. He's using a lot of the other weapons, such as the flare gun and the extinguisher. That is just your personal style, but it seems to be working very well for him. It's a bit more technical, a lot harder, but it also pays better. Then he sees all of the teams around here, and he can just deny them from going into the area here, but it looks like he's going to go for some kind of flank play, and this is a good play. And actually, does a bit of a mistake there, I think. It didn't matter in the end. I mean, they did kill the medic there, but if you go back just a little bit here, we can take a look at that engagement again, because that is something a lot of pyros do, is that they do unnecessary Air blast. Okay, cool, whatever. So let's find Steve. Here's Steve. All right. So here's the other engagement, and he goes around on the flank here. So let's just, yeah, there we go. This is a pretty good position to be in as a pyro, because the medic hasn't spotted you, that he has no idea, right? So we're just going to slow it down here and see what he does. This is kind of a mistake, but it didn't really matter in the end, but it's worth mentioning. So he goes and he air blasts them at this range. At this range right here. Now the reason this isn't so good is that you can actually just lit the medic on fire and then hit him with the extinguisher. He tries to hit him with the flare, but the medic is still alive. But luckily he has a lot of support from his team coming in here, so they will be able to kill this regardless. But if this wasn't the case, I think the medic would not have died there. He would probably have survived, but they did kill the heavy, so that was like a combined effort there, and you can see they killed nearly everyone on the opposing team with that little sandwich maneuver. So it's kind of like shock and awe in a way, that you get them from behind and they don't really necessarily expect it. But unnecessary air blast, when you can just lit them on fire and then hit them with the extinguisher and do nothing, can sometimes work. And also work really well. Like, yeah, well, there he goes, a bit of a technicality, just switching weapons. Because I get feeling some players really like to use the flare gun a lot, and some don't. Some likes to use the extinguisher a bit more. So coming in with the Uber. And yeah, now people are just dead and there isn't really much to do except pushing the cart, which he is not gonna do. He's actually gonna go around and try and make yeah, he's gonna go for delays here and just delay the enemy team. We should just have one respawn right now and they win the round! Yay! Woo. And I think we have some delay, so now we're just gonna fast forward really quickly here. He is ready. Not really sure what happens, but they're switching teams and stuff like you do in the games. Alright, so... Okay, so the gates have opened. And we're gonna watch Blue Pyro action once again. Here we go. Watching Steve once again doing the flare shots, checking for spies. Just think like, man, if I were a spy, where would I be hiding? So I think Steve knows of all the spy spots. Where is the enemy spy? Oh, he's here. And Steve, he's here. So he's pretty far away. There's some more flanking business here and gets the information they need. There's a sentry there, and if he engages, he dies. So he's just gonna go for some push on the cart, gets hit by a sniper, and decides, you know what, I'm just gonna take the risk and push the cart regardless. Air blast some stickies to kind of disarm the sticky trap in a little way, which is nice. Shooting flares and being low on health, and this is actually really good dispenser placement for the offensive engineer there, actually. And spies around still. Couldn't quite track him because he was using the Spicicle, and that thing is really hard to deal with. Goodbye, Steve. See you in 6 seconds. And he's back. So that's the one problem with the Spicicle. If you're dealing with a spy that uses the Spicicle to get away, if you switch weapon away from your flamethrower, you won't necessarily hear the fire of when he's burning, because if you burn him with the flare gun, you can actually hear yourself burning him when he is using the Spicicle and he's not on fire. But if you switch, you will kind of lose that connection and he will be harder to track and he might get away. But he's sticking with his combo, checking his back and kind of being on the lookout for any kind of flank in case anyone does anything. So now he's having a supportive role. He's not really, you know, doing a lot of damage. He's just making sure that he's checking his teammates' backs and that nothing is really happening. Lights the demo man on fire and air blasts on pipes, making sure nobody takes any damage. Extremely useful. Using the class for what it's meant to be, I guess. And now on the cart and doing it, sees the spy who gets taken out. And now, nice reflex here. And he's going to try and deny the soldier. Actually, he's going to go for some sort of medic pick here, but the other pyro denies him. So that was nice work by the other pyro as well. Denying a pyro from doing a suicide pick there on the medic using the air blast, but I don't think it will matter too much because I think the medic is going to die. Yep, he died. Died off camera. So this is the spots where pyros aren't necessarily all that good, so you want to stay in situations like these as little as possible. Inside here, in areas like these, is very nice to be a pyro. It's extremely nice. They're just hanging around. I'm just gonna go, yeah, upstairs. Taking the high ground first, because you can just air blast people down for days. Using the windows. Sees the medic, burns him a bit, and uses the flare gun. Nice execution. Way better than we saw earlier. Got the kill, and then I think he got a couple of kills there, actually. I got the scout as well. So that is a medic plus a bonus. Not bad indeed. But keep in mind, this is Pyro on payload. Same rules may not apply on 5 CP maps and on Lakeside, which is the King of the Hill map. Yeah, well, people play Viaduct. I guess Viaduct or Lakeside is like the two there. And yeah, there we go. Great example of if you just run into a heavy, you just die instantly. And just kind of sit around, just chilling, like, here guys, I just died. Just hanging out. Make a great screenshot. There we go. Steve's back after having a little chill. This is the heavy, and there's a Wrangle mini, Wrangle sentry. Those are a pain in the ass as well. Gets the medic almost. Surely made him nervous and kind of like flushed him out of his rat hole there, taking out the heavy and almost got his sandwich. But the level 1 sentry is too strong. Could not get it, and a lot of players dead for both teams here. So let's take a look as Steve rejoins his team. So when it comes to the pure positioning, it's kind of up to yourself to judge what kind of pyro style you want to play. If you want to play very supportive, or if you want to be like a flanker kind of pyro. Keep in mind that like just protecting your medic and hanging around and checking, making sure your team's backs are clear and nobody has gotten around and you won't really be surprised by anything is the easy part. The hard part is actually going around on flanks and getting proper plays and suicide runs and stuff like that. And yeah. Once again, if you're the pyro, just inform your team that it's always their fault for dying to anything, pretty much. It's never your responsibility to kill or make sure that the spy never kills anyone, because you can't be 8 places at once. Unless your entire team clusters into a big ball, but then you shouldn't really do that, because then the crit demo man really fucks you over if you do that. Some nice reflex there, preventing his team from taking damage, grabbing more ammo. It's important to watch your ammo bar when you do this, because if you run out of ammo, you're fucked. But it does a great job here. We're gonna see some awesome play here from him. First of all, taking out the spy, sniper going down, NG going down, burning the sentry, and then he dies. But he got a triple kill there, and there's nearly nothing left of the other team. There's only one dude left, and he is gonna die, and they go and they cap, and hey! So there we go. That was an amazing play. Like, if you see an opportunity where you're like, man, if I go past here, they won't see me as a pyro, just go for it, all right? Just go for it and be comfortable in the way you do damage, right? Because if you're a pyro and you're like, man, I don't really, like, I try to use the flare gun a lot, but I can't really, you know, do that much with it yet. Just practice. That's all I have to say, but like, one thing that's very common for all the pyros, as I mentioned earlier, is the fact that you tend to air blast too much. Because air blast doesn't actually do any damage, and if you air blast them too much, then you will actually help them get away, and then you're kind of sabotaging your own team. So I guess be a bit stingy on the air blast, unless you're dealing with, you know, demos or demos, Ubers, or soldiers. You can do so, because it's very easy to get into like this mindset where you'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna lit him on fire, shoot him in the air, and then hit him with a flare, and that is something you can't always do, because sometimes they strafe and you miss and stuff. So now we have the enemy spy. Where is he? Ah, there he is. Does Steve know? He has no idea. Here's a spy. Here's Steve. Here's a spy. Here's Steve. But Steve's looking at where he is. So he's going to be like, man, there's a pirate. I don't want to deal with that shit. So he goes to the spawn. Steve's still here. Looking around. Spy's like, man, there's a sniper with a razorback. I'm going to go with the... Oh, I got spotted. Shit. And then he hides. And Steve's like, man, I wonder where the spy is. And the spy's like, man, I'm close. Steve's like, yeah, I'm looking for him. And instantly he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go for stab. Stabs the NG. Where's Steve? Well, Steve's kind of out of position. Whose fault was that? Who the fuck's fault was that? He got stabbed. It was his own fault because he didn't check his back. If you're an engineer, and you keep getting stabbed when you're wrangled, that's because that's when the spy usually comes and kills you. Because you're busy with something else. Not Steve's responsibility to keep you safe, because he wasn't even there. He was in the front, doing stuff, looking for opportunities. Now they lost everything. Is it Steve's fault? No. Whose fault is it? This fucking guy right here. He was the one that killed the engineer. It's his fault that the engineer died. Maybe it's the engineer died for dying. I don't know. Steve hanging out. This is a very standard spot to be in. Just running around, checking for spies, making sure that he's not around. Where's the spy? Well, he's here. He's actually in the vicinity right now. And will Steve spot him? I think he sees, he knows that Steve's there, and he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna bother with that, so Medic is safe for now. And he actually got killed by Pyros there, the heavy. So once again, air blasting them back into the room, buying his team a bit more time. Not a whole lot, but you know, anything that you can give your engineer to build a sentry is gonna be worth it. He's also checking around for spies around his sniper, because that's usually where he'll be. Here's Izzle. And also, I think Steve has a very good idea of where the spy is gonna be. Yeah, spy got spotted. Steve doesn't really have to do anything. Like, if your team is really good at checking their backs, they most likely will not get stabbed that often. I mean, if there's a distraction in front of you, that's when you get stabbed, and that's when it's okay to get stabbed. But if there's no distraction, you're kind of just standing around scratching your ass, and you get stabbed, well, then you should feel pretty bad about yourself, because that is...
How is this possible?
Yeah, how is that possible when that happens? Jeez, I don't know. And you can see that, like, in this engagement, Steve didn't really, like, he's not really engaging, he's just here, and he's like, well, I'm just gonna fall back, I'm gonna peek around here, and, oh, no, just gonna retreat. Go back. He's not committing, because if he commits, he will die, and there's a very low chance that he will actually do something. So, reflex, nobody's gonna take any damage, and he will damage the other team. So, it's a win-win situation. It's kind of like us people when it comes to the ocean. It's like, man, we live off the ocean and we get food from it and we travel upon it and it's really great and it's really beneficial for us. And then in return, we're just gonna dump jaw-dropping amounts of shit and we will call this win-win. It's kind of like that with this Steve, you know, like he reflects and oh my God, spy, and he got headshotted. They're kind of dead together and be like, you hanging out here? He's like, yeah. So, you know, I'm dead. Yeah, I'm dead too. Yeah, I'm on the red team. You're in blue team? Cool. I'll just hanging out. Did you know I have a light bulb for a head? I actually need googly eyes or else I can't see. The spy's like, man, that is interesting. I have a bow tie. Yeah, I like your bow tie. It's really nice. Yeah, and Steve's alive. Good. Once again, huge opportunity here. A bit lacking in the execution. He did not lit the medic on fire. He kind of just almost lit him on fire and then pulled out the extinguisher. We see that happen from time to time too. It happens to everyone. Sometimes the hit reg can be a bit shit, depending on who you're playing with, and if the server's bad or if they have bad connection or just the game hates you being a pyro right now. And look at this, he doesn't commit. He just runs away. He's like, well, I missed my opportunity with the demo man, and I'm just gonna reflect his bombs and not be able to do anything. Huge opportunity for the heavy here, and actually takes him out. And he has really good timing with the whack and the switch because, you know, with his weapon, he has faster weapon switch. So that's why you're using your other tools more. Which makes a lot of sense. Once again, Pyro around this corner can air blast on heavy for days. Except when he runs in front, it takes a lot of damage. But I guess there was a Devilman there as well, and he would have get spammed out and forced to retreat, so that's why he ran back there. So that's an excellent choice of positioning. Nothing to really comment on that. He's with his friends, gonna be air blasting, yep, denying any rockets, and then he gets headshot by a sniper asshole. Who's like, man, well, he's dead too, so. So there's a spy for the other team. Steve's about to respawn. Will he catch him? Actually, the scout got him. And here's Steve. It's only 10 seconds left on the clock, though, so I think they're in pretty good shape. Does get stabbed. Does it matter? No, because they win. Yay. So I think that was that game. I have another, so it isn't as long. And I think this was a match they played. Doesn't really matter who wins and stuff. We're basically just looking at Steve and whatever he does. And he has a very good feeling for when to attack and when to go back. Because if you don't attack when you have the opportunity, you're wasting a potential opportunity to kill a lot of shit. And if you back out too late, you're just going to die unnecessarily, and your team's going to be one player down. So that is something to keep in mind. Let's see where here's Steve. Can I just say I really like his loadout? It's really cool. It's like he's a light bulb that is sleepy with googly eyes. Fucking don't move. Alright. Steve. So there's the other spy, Hazel. Yeah, so we're just gonna speed up until the gates open. Nothing a whole lot to bother about here. Also, as a pyro, you're not particularly good against sentries, just saying. So an uber pyro against a sentry can be bad for business. So he's gonna go out and once again, pre-checking all the usual spy spots. Where is Izzle? Oh, Izzle is actually here. You can see, he checked the spot earlier. Will he check it this time? No, I don't think he will. There's just so many spots he can be, right? But the spy knows that he's looking for him, so that's basically all he's doing right now. In the beginning, as the pirate, just look for the spy. There's not a whole lot of other things to do. So let's see. Yeah, Izzle is still just there, so if he moves, I think Steve will spot him. Except now Steve's getting busy, and now is the time for the spy to strike. And then going on the flank side here, and he sees the sentry that is wrangled. Can't really engage it on his own, because that is when you run in and you die. Because if he runs it at that point, he will die. So he's just waiting around for an opportunity, somewhere to open for the rest of his team. And there's a lot of red stuff there. So he's just poking and prodding, and he's taking a lot of damage. And then he gets taken out. So not a whole lot you can do there, but dying on the attacking team is absolutely fine, because that's just what you do. You have shorter respawn times, so you can kind of allow yourself to be hurled at the enemy and die. So you should be conservative, but not too conservative as a pyro, if that makes any sense. Like, if you're gonna die, at least take one guy with you, is all I have to say. Anything more than one is just a bonus. I'm not gonna push the cart, because no one else is around to push the cart. Usually you have engineer and scout do it, and that's what you should do, but sometimes you can fill in for the engineer if he's busy doing other stuff. Sniper kills the medic, and he's looking for the... Oh! Yeah, saw the spy. This is what I mean. He heard that. Let's go and take a look at that again, because that was actually excellent play there. Let's see if we can go to 1 1 0 0 0. Did it shit itself? Oh wait, is this the wrong part? No, it isn't. Here's Steve. Alright. Where's the spy, right? We can see the spy. Here he is. And he hears him and he's like, where is he? Where is he? Ah, there he is. Boosh. With a nice little boosh, taking him out. So the spy sickle can be good, but in the wrong position, the pyro is gonna figure you out and kill you. Reflex, preventing his zone from taking too much damage. More reflex. Spamming down this horrible way won't really work. Steve's here, except when he's not paying attention. And reflecting sticky bombs is not really going to work, but he's just reflecting in general, making sure nobody takes any damage. So any kind of support you can give to your team is good. Very low in health. Let's see how he does. Does he go into kind of like an easy suicide bomb, or does he just... Yeah, he goes back to his medic and hopes to get heals, and he does, and he's checking the medic's back, making sure that the spy, which is here, gets spotted immediately, and he is forced to retreat, and he actually kills him. Well, he kind of tags him, and then the heavy gets the glory, and the medic gets the assist, and Steve gets nothing. And then they lose their heavy, and Steve's in the front, doing a lot of damage, a lot of work here, and then he dies, but did buy his team some time. A little bit, at least. So here, having a pyro, if he would have been alive, they would have been able to move the cart a lot further forward. We're just gonna wait here and see what happens when Steve joins the fray. And nothing is really happening because the blue team isn't here. Here's Steve! Steve's here. This is his entry, can't really do anything about it. Gonna go and help his sniper deal with this pesky bomber asshole soldier. And I have real on health, get rid of this chocolate bar. Because it is Halloween. I mean full moon. Full moon. Getting heals from the dispenser to help his medic heal up the classes the medic needs to heal a lot more. Then checks the back and shoots the fire, because keep in mind, if you shoot the fire, the medic will know for sure that you're absolutely not a spy, and that is so important. Catches a spy, once again, we've seen that, like, the spy can't really get a fix on the medic, because if Steve's there, you get spotted immediately, because that's what he does. If he's around the medic, he's mainly looking for the spy. If he's not around the medic, he's on the prowl, looking for an opening or something like that. And if he doesn't see the opening, he backs up immediately and goes back to the medic or the cart or whatever, and stuff like that. So there we go, killing the scout. And now he's on the flank. He's on the flanking roll thing right now. And he sees the sniper, takes him out, and does he have another opening? Actually, yeah, there's no sentry, so he runs into another pyro and sees the other medic from behind. But what does he do? Does he... Oh yeah, engaging a pyro can be kind of dangerous, so he wasn't as lucky with the positioning there, but he is still around, and he... Oh, that was really close. The spy did get the medic, though. So that means, like, just in general, if the spy can't get the kill of which you are denying, the spy is most likely going to kill something else. And that goes for if you're wearing a Razorback as a sniper. The spy is just going to go, not really going to bother too much with you with the knife and just go stab someone else. And here we had Steve denied the spy to kill the medic, and then he just stabbed the heavy. That happens. Really good spies, it doesn't really matter what you use. He will just go and get something else, and hopefully that won't matter too much to your team. But sometimes it does, you know. Sometimes you have to pick your poison. Do you want to die by this poison, or do you die by some other poison? And you'll go, you say, this one, and then you die from that poison you selected. It's usually how it goes. So the spy's here, engaging, takes him out. Bomber soldier is around. They're going against a team with full Uber, and this is pretty hard to do as a pyro. There's not a whole lot you can do except wait and go for this, because if you look over here, it's like this area right here, uphill hallway is really a pain in the ass for a pyro. There's not a whole lot you can do. But if you move with your team, like he's doing right now, he's with his demo friend, we'll actually be able to see. Yeah, look at this, like immediately reaction to that spy there. Such good spy play, and then you just air blast the medic back in the corner, wasting their time a bit. They did lose their heavy anyway, but Steve's in the front here and actually takes out the weakened heavy. So now he's in a good spot. Pyro versus pyro is about as interesting as sniper versus sniper. There's a whole lot of jumping and air blasting and stuff like that. But then Steve goes around, he's on the prowl, and this sniper is in a lot of trouble, and he goes down. So a lot of kills for Steve here. He's doing a lot of work. Got the heavy and just went for it. He took the opportunity, he did not back off. And look at that!
Predictable!
That is just so good. So we're just gonna go back just a little bit, and then we're gonna see that again in slow motion. As soon as it loads. Which it hopefully will. Alright. Here's Steve. And he's battling the sniper. We've seen this. Here we go, taking him out. And this is the part. So we're just gonna slow it down so you can see what happens. So he sees, oh no, you stabbed my friend and my demo man. I'm gonna get you. And the spy's like, whoop, I'm outta. See you later. And then he's like, shoot a flare. Catch on fire, yeah.
Predictable.
Steve. Dagon. Steve. That is just so good prediction skills right there. Also by the sniper who shot him in the air. Another pyro. Pyros are not good against pyros, but you can air blast each other. Grabbing the large health kit, and he's at the bottom with his team. So now he's not on the prowl anymore. He's just protecting his medic's back. They have about 100% Uber. There we go, 100% Uber. Nice call. He sees the other team, and he's going to be able to assist the heavy. So they're going with the heavy first. And he's going to deny the pyro from denying them. It's a double deny. That's what we call deniception. Misses the stab on the, misses the flare rather on the soldier, but he has 2 health. So if anything as much as coughs on him, he's dead. And he doesn't go inside the spawn because he wants the medic to build Uber faster. So that just goes for in general. Like if you want to build faster as a medic, build Uber faster, just have your team take some damage from the other team so you don't have to hurt yourself. Nice surf there by Steve. Still alive. Sees the spy. Sees the heavy. Oh, does he go in the pit? No, does not go in the pit. That was close. That was close. But he's kind of low in health, and if he engages the heavy, he's going to die pretty quickly. And he also sees the sentry. There's like here, like there's literally nothing you can do. Well, you can run out and die, or you can wait and die. So whatever you chose, you're going to die. So far, Steve has worked really well with whatever situation he's been given. Like, there was a spy ran past him. I don't think he saw him, but that doesn't matter, because his spy took out the spy with the spy gun. And then they're just going to go with the soft push, goes in, and gets a lot of damage off on the heavy, I think. The heavy, rather, the tech was really low on health there. Too bad nobody was around to kind of... Oh, he got finished now. So there you go. Let's take a look at how the push works without Steve. When Steve's down. Oh, Steve's actually up now, and here he comes. Still, not too much he can do. It's in the open, it's when in the open pyros aren't that strong. So he's just going to stick to hallways and make sure they are secure, and if he gets an opportunity, he will go, and he has a tiny opportunity now to push the cart, and that is what he's going to do, and air blast stuff up, and right before he dies, he gets out of there. Very good game sense. He has a very good feel of how much beating he can take before going down. So now his team is running in with an Uber. And what does he decide to do? He's like, well, you go in an Uber, I'm going to go on a cart. And then he gets taken out. But he's back. He's back. Spies around and gets taken out by the heavy. Tries to shoot the heavy in the pit. Can't quite do it. Lights on fire. Like, that's got to be interesting. Like, oh, he put a lot of them on fire, and look at the red fire. He kind of just leaves them and let them take a lot of damage there. Double stab from the spy. Nice distraction play. I don't think that was coordinated, but there you go. So, doing pretty well, and they win. Yay, victory. So now we're going to watch the last, I think the last round where he is defending.
Mission begins in 30 seconds. Mission begins 5, 4, 3.
So let's see if he does something different this round. Last round we saw him just kind of hang around. And hang out and put things on fire, and right here he can do a lot of denial. Right now he's just checking for the spy, to see if the spy can actually go there. Where's the spy? Oh, he's here. There's the Steve, there's the spy, there's the Steve, there's the spy. There's Steve, and there's the spy, and there's Steve's still alive. And he's not going for proper engineer support, because if he would, then he would have been using the home wrecker. Using the extinguisher, so he's going for a bit more fragging capabilities. Which is fine. Which is absolutely fine. Reflex. Making sure that the gun that got destroyed doesn't get destroyed again, because freshly rebuilt sentries are extremely weak and extremely fragile, and I think now that is his priority to help his engineer get that gun up. Kind of just shoot a flare here and there. Spots the spy. The spy doesn't get anything done. Sentry's now level 2. Spots the pyro, scout rather, and goes back to the dispenser, and he's kind of just patrolling around, putting people out of fire. Because if you put people out of fire, you deny them taking 50 damage of afterburn. So that's like a 50 damage, heal, and sniper plus mini sentry equals you are dead as shit. So he's down, and now he's alive. Through the power of respawns, he is. And he sees the enemy team coming. It's like, what can he do? Well, he can just shoot flares and be annoying. That's what he can do. And he can go for some air blast. Blasts the heavy in there. Just wastes his time. Sees the demo. Misses the. Oh.
You failed me!
Should have had that, man. You got overexcited and you missed. Even though you're pyro and you're super hot, you gotta keep your cool, man. Keeping it cool as a pyro. That takes skill. So we lose a lot of stuff, but he did deny his heavy taking damage from those reflex again. Very useful. And then he goes spotting and sees that there's actually no blue guys here, but he's just checking to be sure. And then they're gonna retake this little area here. Doing alright, doing alright. Taking a shot to the gut, that's okay. Gonna just run back to spawn and heal back up. Now he's in a bit of a bind. Being in this spot is not very good as a pyro, and as a result, he dies. Because if we take a look at the map here, running along this wall as a pyro is really good. Running along this wall is really bad. Because the enemy comes from here, and they will corner you and kill you, so... Not the best of positioning there, but he might have thought he saw something, and went for it. It's always nice to see Steve the Pyro face palming in chat. How are you doing? Do you enjoy this commentary? I hope you do. And now back on sentry duty. Important part is to know that if Steve says, well, I did this, this, and that because of this, this, and that, we don't know that because we can just see what he does. We don't actually know what's going inside in his head, so we will just judge him fiercely on his actions, because that's the only thing we can really interact with him here. Huge opportunity here, backs off a bit too early, I think, because the soldier actually didn't shoot. Had a pretty huge opportunity to do some stuff there, runs into the heavy. Takes off a chunk of his health, though. Was down to 50 health, I think, but it didn't kill him. But maybe his demo man will be able to finish the job. Oh my god, he had so little health. That was close. And often it's like tiny things like that, where you have a split decision. Is like, do you stay and die and maybe do something awesome, or do you fall back, take some damage, and survive? It's kind of like the choices you have to make. So here's the spy. Here's Steve. Here's the spy. Here's Steve. This is the other pyro. This is Steve. Like, the spy can literally not catch a break. Steve is just like patrolling all over. He's like, man, okay, I gotta go. Alright, getting some more cloak. Alright, I'm gonna cloak again. Steve's just patrolling. And he's like, alright, I'm gonna go for it. Grabbing this, and, oh, now Steve's over here. And, oh, see, Steve's back, and he's like, god damn it, and he actually got taken out by the guns. And Steve didn't really do anything, but he did make him nervous. That is something. Uber popped on him. Doing fairly well for himself. Distraction play allows the spy to do stuff. We're not going around here. He's going to send the spy to a burning, well, his scout to a burning death, rather. And going down. He's on the prowl. Here it's kind of risky, though. This is not proper positioning for a pyro, but he just lights the guy on fire, and then the sniper shoots him in the face, and everything's good. Sees the spy. Goodbye, spy. You're dead. Steve's alive. There you go. Lighting the heavy on fire, causes him to retreat, gets juggled in the air, and survives stickies thanks to competent air blasting. If there's one thing I hate when I play, like, I'm not a very good demo man or soldier, but I hate pyros like Steve because they keep shooting all my projectiles back. You're like, hey, you dropped this, and I blow myself up, and I'm like, thanks. I don't appreciate it, but you're good, so I'll let it slide for now. And, oh, there's a spy. Steve, spy. Oh no! Oh no! Steve got stabbed by a spy. That's okay because I think they would have been pretty killed brutally otherwise. Sometimes, you know, if there's 3 or more dudes in front of you, getting killed by a spy is quite natural. Something that happens. So Steve's back up, kills the sniper. He's on the prowl. He's doing some cleanup work on aisle 5. Helps his scout friend, making sure that he doesn't take 50 damage. It's actually 50 heal, in a way, except that you don't lose the health. You just keep it. Huge reflect there on the soldier, making him feel like a dumbass. I know I do every time I get air blast killed. Going down. Gonna eventually kill his engineer. Kind of playing with his food, kind of like a cat does sometimes. Air blasts all over. And holding on the fort like a boss, pretty much. Keeping the cart clean of blue guys. And still staying alive. And gets a kill stolen from him by the asshole scout. And this is a very strong position to be in as a pyro. There's a small hallway, so you can do a lot. Mini sentries are really hard to deal with, so he's just gonna back off. He signals his spy friend that, hey, with a couple of fires, that this life kit is mine. This health kit is mine. Life kit, what's that? It's a life vest, health kit. Health vest. Oh! Where did Izzle go? There's a spy. And he's on fire, and he's dead. That's usually how it goes when you meet the pyro. You just, that's a spy, you just die. Reflects. Holding the top like a boss. Only 2 minutes left, and then you win, I think. And here's a spy. Misses the stab, but Steve got killed by the heavy, who got killed by the other heavy, who might get killed by this demo man. Except not really, because, well, yes. Hey, they won. Okay. Steve's still dead. Let's look at Dagon. Man, this guy sucks. Let's look at Steve. Engineer. Else burning stuff and going for risky play, distraction play, wasting the opponent's time. Worked a little bit. Let's hope those 20-second respawn times is really worth it. See what happens in the meantime. Let's pretend Steve was here. Puts a sniper on fire. He's dead, so he would have died if Steve was here. He's going. Checking here. No. Checking for spies. Goes here. The sniper's dead again because he had a fast respawn time. Steve's back up again, by the way. And they fell. So there you go. I'm not sure if that was the end of the game, but that is the end of what we're going to cover. So hopefully you got an idea of what to do as Pyro, because Steve is pretty darn good, so he does a lot of stuff right. And I'm not a Pyro expert, but if you were to talk to one, talk to him. I'm sure he would love to get all your friend requests asking him questions about stuff. So yeah. Basically that was pretty much textbook how you do Pyro stuff on Upward and on payload maps in general. On attack, you can be a bit more risky, but on defense, you should help out your engineer and help out your combo, and maybe go on a flank if the opportunity provides itself. You should not go seek it, but if you see it, you should definitely go for it. So hopefully you saw something that I didn't comment on, and maybe learned something from that, because that was some really solid play. So, of course, next week is going to be the episode with the Sniper Razorback Shutdown, so if you want to play and kill snipers wearing the Razorback, you can. You just can't play the Sniper. You can play any other class. Submit those replays. Submit as many as you like. You can zip them. Zip the DMX files and the .dem files. And stuff like that. And for the YouTube raffle, it's the same procedure as last time. You do at HiGPS with the link to this video. And then you do the hashtag Steve is cool is the hashtag. So there you go. So thank you guys for watching. And once again, check out the Steam group for community balance advisor stuff or just suggestions in general. After the episode where we do the Razorback shutdown, we will do an episode on a pyro item known as the Back Scratcher. It's going to be interesting, so stay tuned for that. So thank you guys for watching so much. I'll see